Hi guys and welcome to the Circus. So here we have another card fight for you guys. This is actually going to be a small series that I'm uploading on this channel where I face off against our local Bermuda Triangle main, Sir Yuusha-sama. I am piloting my Chelsea, my homebrew build that I also showcased in Top Deck Heroes just like yesterday, I guess, at least by the time I'm uploading this video. And I'm gonna be facing against all the different archetypes of Bermuda Triangle that Yuusha-sama has at his arsenal. So right here we are gonna be facing one of the budget decks of Bermuda Triangle, and I am also using a budget deck like a triple rare deck and below kinda genre. I don't know if that exists in other places, but we do that here in our locals. So yeah, this is actually I actually made this series because, you know, Bermuda Triangle has a lot of playstyles, right? It has a lot of different possibilities you can do in a archetype. So it's like if you want to scale your deck into different playstyles, just like it's kind of like Bermuda is the way to go, right? Because if you can find a playstyle that, you know, restands or, you know, stalling or full on raw power, it's just gonna be all in Bermuda Triangle. So it's like if you play against it, you're getting a glimpse of the different decks that you're about to face in different clans. So right here, let's just see what happens. So I rode grade 1. I went second. Sorry if I am late for this. So I went second and I draw into a card and rode an Abigail soul charge 1, and I actually soul charged a draw trigger, I believe. So yeah. So Yuusha-sama's turn, rides grade 2. He gets himself a grade 2 that searches the I don't remember the name of that Bermuda Triangle, but grade 3. But that's the one that uses the presents, you know, the markers that he produces after each and every turn. So yeah, he soul blasted 2 and directly searched that grade 3 that he needs to ride up next turn, which is really amazing because it's direct. It's a direct search. It just costs 2 soul blasts. Yeah, so by the time you reach grade 2, you already have 2 souls, so it's practically search your grade 3. It's like you have 8 copies of your grade 3s in your deck. This is really good. So it's an on-hit pressure right there for the, I believe that's the yeah, that's the one that retires herself to get the same copy of her from the deck, and then she has a 10k shield buff when she is called on Guardian Circle by returning the same copy from the drop zone to the deck. So yeah, it's actually really good. So my turn now, I rode on to Marissa, check top 7, I put a card from my hand to the soul and fetch myself anything, any workroid, any non-grade 2 workroid from the top 7 cards. So I believe I checked my hand size first because, no, my hand cards generally, because I want to check what else do I need in my hand. So I fetched a Chelsea and a Carroll. See, that is really good. I didn't use a counter blast at all, and I got everything that I needed right there. It's so freaking good. So yeah, let's see what happens. So I just rode grade 2, and I believe I will call a Beverly if I have a Beverly. If I didn't, I just swing for 9 or 1 pass. So let's see. If I were to call a grade 2, a grade 1 as a booster, what would it be? Would I call an Abigail or not? So calling an Abigail is actually fine, but you know, you gotta risk it. So I did call an Abigail. So I swing for 17, so I swing for her front trigger. I should have not called Abigail there because you know, I didn't expect a front trigger, so I just made him take a damage, rides onto the grade 3, and then getting force 2 on the right side and drawing card. Using that skill on us, like every main phase, a start of your main phase, I believe, he will get himself a you know, the marker that he produces. So using that skill to CB1 and a soul blast 1, getting herself checking top 2 cards, putting 1 at the top and 1 to his hand, no, at the top, so he can call a top card and then, you know, put 1 card at the top of the deck, which is an OTT skill. So right here, he called another one of those grade ones, which has an on-hit pressure, I believe, when it attack hits or when it boosts hits. So yeah, it gets +5 once you have that marker in your hand and reveal it. Because every start of the battle phase, I believe, he will reveal any number of those cards in his hand, that marker, and everybody else that everything else in his field gets +5 for each marker, and those grade ones gets +5 every time you reveal one. So when you reveal a marker, it gets +5, and on top of that, the power from your Vanguard, it gets it as well. So it's a big column. So he swings now for an on-hit pressure behind his Vanguard. I believe I didn't guard because I needed the damage as well, but I'm already at 2, so he didn't get a crit there, so I took only 1 damage. Right here, he does have 2 crits and an on-hit pressure on both sides, so I needed to guard that because I don't want to get to 5 this early. So even though I want to get damaged, not that much this turn. So I was yeah, that was actually because I didn't have a Beverly at the back row, because, you know, riding Beverly makes it a 17, makes your Vanguard a 17, so it hits over force numbers pretty well. So right here, we just proceed to our turn, drawing a card, standing our units and drawing our card. And what happens? Alright, so we draw a card and ride grade 3. We ride onto Carroll because we searched Carroll from Marissa. So we draw a card, check top 5, get ourselves a copy of any worker, I don't know, any card from the top 5 cards and put it in the soul. If it's a grade 3, we get to call it superior called. So we just superior called a copy of Carroll from our field, from our top 5 cards to our field. So right here, our Vanguard is at 12k, so it's already a 1 pass. But, you know, if I had a Beverly here, if I didn't call Abigail there, I would have had a Beverly to work with, but sadly I needed to keep the Abigail right here in order to countercharge and possibly fetch a grade 3 from Soul at the end of the turn. So right here, I am deciding on what to do here. I believe I don't have a second copy of Carroll, but I do have a Chelsea. Right there is my misplay. I had a Beverly after a while after that turn, so yeah, it's bad, but it's still fine, I guess, as a rear guard because everything is a worker ride. I call a Chelsea on top in front of Beverly so that it gets +5, so it hits for 24. I heal a damage, which is actually really fine, and I check a draw on top of that, so I give the power to the other I give the power to, which one did I give the power to? Wait, did I not give? Oh my god, I forgot to give another power to my my Carroll. Oh my god, Vanilla, you're so bad at this. So I used that skill to CB1 and reride Chelsea because I don't have a copy of Carroll and Soul, which is still fine because, you know, we only have 2 CBs, so it's the ride target that you want to go to because you still have 1 more swing. But right here, he did check a defensive, which is really bad. So I don't know, it didn't check a defensive, right? Okay, it didn't check a defensive, so he made my Vanguard hit, so he took 2 damage, still no defensive, which is really good. Right here, he is at grade 3, so my units that will be called from Chelsea's skill will get +10. So what will I call here? I believe I don't have a Jill yet, so yeah. Oh, okay, I called another copy of Abigail right there and a Marissa, and they get +10 since they're because my opponent's Vanguard is a grade 3. So yeah, I called another Abigail and get +5 due to Beverly's skill. Okay, so did he guard? Yeah, he guarded it, and I was actually misplay because my Carroll should be bigger than what happened there. I'm sorry about that. This is actually, oh my gosh. Okay, so never mind. Let's just see what happens in a couple more minutes. So I ended my turn. I got myself a copy of Carroll and countercharged. Guys, remember this moment right here? I actually watched this, so I know what happened here, and that was a big misplay. You'll see in a few minutes. Okay, the way the fact that I fetched a Carroll from my soul is a misplay. if you were in if you were in the same scenario, you shouldn't get your Carroll. You should just countercharge because it's a free countercharge either way. But you still need 2 copies of Carroll to rewrite consistently. So if you don't have Amaranth Beast Tamers or a way to fetch it in the soul, you're done for. You can only rewrite once because you don't have a second copy of Carroll. So I will be punished there heavily in the next couple turns. So let's see what happens with Yuusha-sama's side. So right here he now has 2 copies of that marker, so he can heal. Every start of his battle phase, he can CB1 and then heal instantly a card. So right here, CB1 and then heal a card. That simple. He just needs to have 2 markers on his hand. So it's pretty easy now. His deck is really good going first, because if you can survive your opponent's first grade 3 turn, you get to just stall the game out because you heal every single turn. So right here, he has 2 markers, so you can give plus 10 to the front row, plus 5k to each of those grade 1s that requires you to reveal a card, plus the grade 3 searcher that requires only a unit in front of her. So it's pretty easy. So he swings now, and he has, I believe, he rewrote the grade 3, so he has 2 force markers on both sides, and those 2 grade 2s in the front row has Sentinel Restrict, which is pretty bonkers. So right here, he checked a critical trigger to his Vanguard and power to the other grade 2, and he checked a draw trigger on top of that as well. So he gave the power now to the other column and then draw a card. So I checked 2 triggers there. I didn't check the first, and I checked a heal. Thankfully, I checked a heal. If I didn't check a heal, I would have died because I need to guard everything else because both of them are lethal and has Sentinel Restrict, which is really bad. Okay, so right here, he swings for a big number. I don't know the number of that, but I believe I guarded it. I guarded it successfully. Right here, I could have just guarded the other one, I believe, but I don't. Let's see. I kind of forgot what happened here. I have a decent amount of hand cards, but I think I need to guard this because I don't want to get to 5. Oh, I took the damage. Oh my god. Okay, so I took the damage. I went to 5, and right here is my Unga Bunga turn. This is why I was punished. This is where this is a turn that I was heavily punished using Abigail's skill in the wrong way. So I rode grade 3 as usual because I fetched a copy of Carroll from Soul and then draw a card, check top 5. I got myself a copy of Marissa to the Soul, which is no, I believe I didn't have a choice there because I filtered so much already. So right here, I don't have a copy of I don't have a second copy of Carroll in Soul, meaning I can only rewrite once, which is really bad. I have 5 CBs and I can only use 2 of them. Yeah, that's bad, dude. That's bad. So yeah, if I didn't fetch the Carroll, I could have done it, and I could have done better here, and I could have possibly won. Let's just see what happens here. So I have 2 Chelseas, one in the Axel circle and one in front of Beverly, making the 24k column. And I called a Jill, because Jill is in my hand, so I don't have a Marissa to fetch it in the soul. So yeah, it's kind of a dead card in hand. I called in Edith, so my Edith gains plus 6, so 8, so plus 16k in her own. So it's pretty huge. So I swing for 17. No, it's 12. 1 to pass still. So first check, second check. I didn't check a single trigger. So right here, that was really bad. That was really bad of me. So I swing for 24. I don't know if he'll guard it or take it. He takes it, and he didn't check a single defensive trigger, which is really good. I put the Chelsea to soul, and this is why I was heavily punished. I didn't have another copy of Carroll in soul, so I didn't get to rewrite multiple times because I still have another Chelsea to work with, I guess. But I did have a Chelsea on the other side. So yeah, I could have rewrited twice there or thrice, but sadly I can't because I made a misplay a few turns back. So right there, I just ride a Chelsea, draw another card from the Axel 2, and then right here I have the second Vanguard swing and the last Vanguard swing that I'll ever do, and hopefully check something like a front to help boost up my columns. And first, okay, and I didn't check anything, and he didn't check. Yeah, he didn't check a trigger as well. So, well, that's kind of good. He has 5 damage now, so everything needs to be guarded. So I call 2 more units here. I call 1 Chelsea over here and 1 Beverly and 1 Jill on the other side, and scooping the Beverly, and then calling out my Abigail. This is why I always call Chelsea on my main rear guard columns, because they go to soul, and Jill is always gonna be a free call there, because sometimes Jill requires to retire something to make something work, right? So yeah, this way you will have a lot of good, things. So he successfully guarded everything. Yeah, he successfully guarded everything. I still have a big number to work with. 2 more swings. Yeah, everything else was just 5k shield, so it's it's whatever. So that actually screwed me over. I forgot those markers are still hand cards, so he discarded 1 for the cost of his perfect guard for my last attack. So he successfully guarded everything, but he doesn't have any hand cards left and no rear guards to work with. But still, it's amazing that he can still guard everything else. So yeah, this is the level of Bermuda Triangle as a whole, and he got another marker every turn. So he gets plus 10 to the front row, plus he can heal every single turn as long as he has something to flip down in the damage zone. So he successfully called another one of those battle door units and a a top card that he knows. So he just called a Lizelot and then soul charged it. So right here he CB1 again as the start of battle phase and heal another card. So that's a lot of stalling, but if he didn't have that heal ability, I would have actually kind of won. But all's well that ends well. Let's see what happens. So right here, yeah, he has units that can get +5 when you call when you reveal a marker. So plus the grade 3 searcher that gets +5 so easily. So he swings now for 1 drive, and right here I guarded, I guess. Yeah, I guarded. So give the power to his the battle door. That's not a battle door. That's a sentinel restrict card. So he swings for 2 crits. Everything is lethal, obviously, so I need to guard everything. Thankfully he has only 3 swings, but my hand size is so low and everything is big because he has +10 and still has a battle door skill. And yeah, oh my, battle door. That's not a battle door. Oh my god, I keep forgetting that. So that is a sentinel restrict column right there. I believe I made a misplay on using a lot of shield on his Vanguard. So yeah, I successfully guarded 1 attack at least, but yeah. Ooh, I took the damage and I got a heal, thankfully, but I still need to take 1 more because it's a force 2 and second check, nothing. So yeah, I lost that game, but it was honestly a really good matchup. Remember that moment, guys, that I said before that was a huge misplay? You shouldn't do that in your games, and I learned my lesson in hard way. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm still uploading a couple more videos after in the next few days because I still have a lot of card fights I want to show you guys. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.